Hi, I'm Sophie from The Joyful Web, and today I am joined again by Ben Johnson from 10% Better. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Sophie. Hello, everyone.
Joining us again today. And we are here for the second in our three-part Money Matters series, where we will be discussing how to put your prices up. Now, this is a really hot topic for many of my clients, many of my fellow entrepreneurial friends. I know the same for you too, Ben. Where a lot of businesses, a lot of business leaders come and they say, like, how do I even know how to price myself? And the idea of even going any further than the kind of bar that they've set for themselves is absolutely terrifying. And they might say they want to do it, and then they continue to go back to the price that they have been charging this whole time. And I know, Ben, that this is something that you feel very, very passionately about. So tell us your theory around how to price ourselves and the importance of pricing ourselves higher than what we're currently doing.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'd start by saying that whilst clearly I don't know everyone who's watching, but I think it's pretty safe to say for everybody, for all of you watching, you are worth more than you think you are worth, and I think that is the start point. I knowing you, knowing the people in your community, Sophie, the work that most of the audience, most of you guys do is undoubtedly important work. It's well-meaning work. It's work which is really from a very a kind of right place, and where you're doing that work and your interest is in improving something, whatever it might be, there is value to that. And where there is value, the kind of an exchange of that value is money. But what tends to happen is when we are pricing what we do, so when we're arriving at our kind of first prices, a couple of things are kind of happening there. One, there's too much of an association between what I charge and what I'm worth, which necessarily kind of pegs it down. We spoke about that a bit in the last session, where somehow what I charge is linked to my self-esteem or the confidence that I have. So that's a constraint on pricing and how we get there. The other thing that people tend to do is they look at what competitors are doing. So other people in the marketplace, oh, they're charging this, therefore I can charge this. But of course, that is, that doesn't really make sense either, because that's somebody else deciding what you should charge. And remembering that price is one of the most important signals that we send to our market. It talks about our quality, it talks about our difference, it talks about our usefulness. And actually, if we're just pricing based on what our competitors are charging, really we're sending the signal to the market that at best, we're the same as everybody else. And of course, nobody really wants that. There's an element of kind of clients wanting to feel safe buying you. But actually, the idea that we're just the same as everybody else isn't really very valuable at all. And that kind of points us to the kind of most important thing, that the thing that is often overlooked, like I've not kind of yet mentioned it at all in the last few minutes I've been talking, really the most important measure of value is what our clients and our customers think. They're the people who need to determine how useful we are, how valuable we are. But we spend very, very little time actually really exploring these things with our clients. And I know clients and customers sort of, there's tension into this whole thing. We tend not to do this. Client thinks, we might ask around budgets, and there's conversations around that. But actually what something is worth to somebody is a totally subjective thing. Clients buy things, customers buy things from us. So actually, somebody said it well once, that actually clients and customers really only buy two things. They buy good feelings and they buy solutions. And if you think about that from a kind of tangible and an intangible thing, yes, there are tangible things that our clients want to change, which is why they buy what they buy from you. But there's also all of the intangible, the emotional side, that people buy from you because they want to spend time with you. People buy from you because they believe that you have knowledge that they want to have. There are many, many reasons, and the value of those things is a subjective thing, and it changes on a case-by-case basis. And actually, if we are kind of oriented to do good work, to help people, to serve people, taking more time to understand what it is actually, the solution that a client is trying to buy, the feeling that a client is trying to buy, the more that we understand that, the better we can understand what our value is, and the more we can understand what a price should be, which reflects that. So it's getting out of the space of just linking a price to what I feel I'm worth, which is of no use to anybody, or linking a price to what my customer decided, where my competitor decided, which is all basically just linked to probably what they feel worth. It's really just understanding that actually the more we understand all of our clients' motivations and what's important to them, we can start to better understand what it is worth to them. Because ultimately they should determine the value of our work. And that should and could change on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, it depends on the kinds of things that you're selling, but certainly in a service space, these things can and should reflect value, which is determined by the customer, the client.
But what do you do then? And thank you for that, because I think definitely the businesses that I work with are, they're conscious businesses. They're doing something to try to make the world a better place. And there is that feeling that like charging for that is like a little, almost like money is dirty. There's a lot of money mindset issues that go on within that space. So if we move through that and we just say that no matter what, energetic exchange, money is currency is energy. What you put out, you need to get back for your own ability to grow and sustain and develop and expand. Yeah, that's great. But say, what do you do if you find yourself in a situation where you're being undervalued by, say you're attracting in the wrong kind of clients that aren't, because maybe you haven't done the work around your client profiles yet, and you're attracting in the wrong kind of clients and they're not valuing you at where you should be valued. How do you get past that sort of discrepancy between those two things if it actually ends up being the other way around and it's not higher than what you're valuing yourself?
Well, there's probably not the most helpful, but the kind of truest response is, if you're in that situation with clients, you have to make a decision whether they're the right kind of clients for you. If you're doing work for these people and you are really confident that you are generating value for them and you can see the value they're doing, but they're not appreciating that value, and you are not able to help them see that value, then I think you're getting to a place where you have to ask yourself the question, are these the right kind of clients? Are these the people I want to have a relationship with?
So that's actually an interesting point, is that when you are looking at valuing yourself and, putting your prices up to the point where, we're assuming as you're watching this that you're undervaluing yourself, and you're looking to put your prices up, there's an exercise there in who is your ideal client? What is their mindset like? What do they understand that in order for them to be able to grow, they also need to invest? And then again, that comes back to an energetic exchange. And if we take away all of the kind of money societal stories and we just look at it as energy, then it works in all directions. That it's not just about the financial exchange, it's also the value of how someone else is being with you and how you're being with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the kind of just the important thing around that is that this is not about creating situations where all clients are suddenly paying much more than they were paying before. There will always be clients who have different means and different ability, and for whom money represents different things. So some clients will have, less able to invest financially. Some clients will have more ability to invest financially. For some clients, it will be important that they are seen to spend money. I was having a conversation, it's a very brief story, with somebody who was making face masks. And she was saying that she didn't want to profit in a pandemic. So that her motivation was, was positive. She wanted basically people to have masks that they wear. And she's a fashion designer, so she kind of knows how to make these things. But she didn't feel like she was, in her words, profiting in a pandemic. Now that's a really interesting thing, because actually that's about her measures, her values. But of course, for some people, it's important to be seen because they feel like they have means to spend more money, so that they should spend more money. And actually for her business, it's not to say that she should just charge a lot so she can take all of that money out. Maybe offering the mask to some people for more money allows her to offer the mask for less money to other people, which creates more money in her business to be able to do more of the thing that she wants to do. Yeah. So it does require really conscious engagement with it.
Yeah, and I really love that as a concept in having that sliding scale. It's actually an ancient Indian concept of like paying what you can, and having the trust element of the sliding scale of if you can pay, and we've been doing it for all of our courses. If you can pay full price, pay full price. And if you can't, then you can have a 50% discount. And that's not necessarily because it's going to benefit the person who can pay full price more, but it is because it's important to us as a business to be accessible, especially during a crisis. So there's so many different factors involved within that. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons people find it so difficult when it comes to pricing themselves effectively. You have a really useful tip that is about how someone can position their pricing to a prospective client. And we're not going to tell you what it is yet, because we want you to tune in to the third video in the series. So thank you very much, Ben. And if you're watching, please just, again, give it a try. Ben recommends, what's your percent? Is it 10, 20% you recommend? Just going away and putting your prices up by 20% and seeing what happens.
Yeah, so exactly. Start there, or just start by confidently try to have the conversation with the client to understand actually all of the things which are really important to them from a financial point of view, and then come back to your pricing.
Okay, yeah, so always, and I think that's the case with absolutely anything to do with business, is always start with the people who your business is serving, and use their voices, use their insights to develop your services, your products and your pricing. So that's brilliant. And please do tune in for our third in the Money Matters series, where we will be looking at a few tips for you to when you're sending out pitches or proposals, on how to really maximize your pricing for success. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.